Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Sean here. Happy Hump Day. Happy What's Current Wednesday, as Lons and I like to say. We hope you're all having a great start to the week and building some positive momentum and whatever goals that you're trying to achieve this week. We've got another quality episode for you guys today that Lons and I recorded a few weeks ago. It's a variety of mindset related topics with a few comical shenanigans thrown in along the way. So we hope to provide you guys with a little bit of midweek value with a side of a good laugh or two. So before we get to the episode, we want to give a shout out to one of our favorite local businesses here in Columbus, Ohio. Kev and I have been talking, and we'd like to use a portion of the intro of the podcast each week to help promote causes, local businesses, or other things along those lines that we enjoy and that we support. We understand that the COVID-19 pandemic has had huge financial impacts on a lot of local businesses. So we'd like to give some love and support to the ones that have been there for us throughout our hard times. This week, we want to give a shout out to Moto Yoga Columbus, located in Grandview, Ohio. Moto is a yoga studio that offers various types of yoga classes that are accessible for beginners and advanced students. Personally, for me, I love their hot room. It's amazing for sweating out all your stress and recharging your body and mind. So I've been going for about 3 years now, and when I first started, I had little experience in yoga, but I'm happy to say that I've made a lot of improvements, and actually I feel a lot better. A lot of my back and neck pain is gone, and I'm much more flexible. So that's great, and Lons is also a recent member, so he's on board the yoga train. So we're both big fans. They're an awesome community, super inclusive, committed to protecting the earth and bringing more peace to the world. I think we can all agree to support those values. So you can learn more about Moto by visiting their website, motoyoga.com/Columbus, or check them out on Instagram at Moto Yoga Cbus. Go try a class. Maybe you'll see me and Kev there. You never know. All right, without further ado, here is episode 3. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm learning what the good spot is on the. See, look at this thing. So it's got mic is the top, and then it's got instrument, and then what's the bottom one say?
Volume.
So maybe that's actually that's what's interesting. Like, what's the difference between mic and volume?
Volume, yeah. I mean,
volume
to me,
seems like
seems like why wouldn't we want to just bump it up, and then if it's too loud,
we would want to be I think that's the thing. Like, I had to send them to tone the first time. I wish there was a more easy way to kind of like put the audio into like Buzzsprout and then just like bring it down. But like, this kind of shit just isn't that simple sometimes. But
that's what we're learning. It's not as easy. Not everybody can have a podcast because you got to figure shit out.
It sounds so easy to like outsiders, and it's like, and like even to us, like, oh, we just put press record, talk, upload. There's your podcast.
Boom.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, once we get like all the early kinks out, it will be like that because everything will be smooth.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's kind of how companies are in general. You look at my company, we offer engineering services, whatever. I'm just using that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't just be a company with that. I mean, there's a lot of technology that goes in there. We need an IT department to make sure we all have our design licenses, and we have to have our email set up. We got to have, like there's other things that have to be set up in order for us to put out our product. Just like with me and you, our product is us talking, chilling, having a good time. But we still gotta. It's part of starting a business. Really, that's what we're doing. We're starting a freaking
really though, and like I mean, even though our ideal, our preferred part of the business is like the glamour work of just the chilling, talking, the content,
right?
But like, just because content's the main thing and the main thing that we like the most, it doesn't mean that like that's actually what takes up like the most time. Some of the technical stuff that also requires time. So it's like, even though it's the stuff that no one's ever going to know about or hear, 30 minutes of talking, yeah, that's like the glamour, the kind of the I guess the core, the content, the good stuff.
Yep.
But then for every 30 minutes of talking, there's 30 minutes times 10 of all of the other random stuff that we like got to think about. You and I hash out between like our little like weekly recordings and stuff, and it's like all those things are like the behind the scene things that make the machine run on on game day, like when we're in episode mode, which it's kind of tricky. Like it's because we've gone from like troubleshooting to talking in general. From what I've like learned about like human focus and concentration, that's difficult to like, because those are different modes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But like I think that like the more that we can like, the fact we're gonna have to be in so many different modes of like researching, troubleshooting, learning, like listening, and all that. Like the more we get used to kind of just going back and forth between them, like we're gonna like get good at all facets of it, and we're reducing the friction, and
we're gonna be like a nice car that just shifts gears flawlessly. Right?
That's
at first it's like a little rusty.
Yeah.
But eventually we're gonna be a Ferrari.
There it is.
And another thing I like that you're saying there, I mean, think about like Kobe, man. He's out there on the court, Black Mamba, putting up 40 points a game or whatever. But after the game, he's doing that behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
He's staying out at the Staples Center late shooting. He's up early in the morning shooting. So I mean, that's kind of what we got to do. Is that there's a quote like champions are made when nobody's watching or something. Maybe it's not champions, but
Yep.
It's what you're doing when nobody's watching or kind of behind the scenes.
Yep.
That really sets you apart. I mean,
100%.
So that's what we're doing. And if anybody's hearing that, we're doing that shit.
We're doing that.
You know that.
We're getting it. You hear that? Yeah, dude. I actually heard or saw very recently a quote that's super relevant to that. It was Damian Lillard, like Blazers.
Yeah. Dame Dollar,
yeah.
And, the rap artist as well.
Dabbles in the music a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. His quote was, "To look good in front of thousands, you have to outwork thousands in front of nobody."
I like that.
That's like, dude, that one hit the core.
Yes.
Like to look good in front of thousands, you have to outwork thousands in front of no one. That's so good.
So true, man.
Yo,
I love the way he put that too. I mean, that puts it all into perspective. That if you want to be famous or if you want to be an expert in whatever you're doing, it doesn't just happen. There's going to be the nights, kind of like we're having tonight, or that we've had, where we're recording things on our own, sending messages back and forth from my car, from your porch, from your studio. I mean, it's not all glamour.
Yeah,
it doesn't just happen. That's a pretty. I think everybody that sounds like really basic, but it kind of goes back to like the whole entitlement thing. Like a lot of people, and we've all been guilty of it, feel entitled to success or to a lot of different things, and it's like we got to work for it. It's not just going to come. We're not just going to have a successful podcast because we had a few drunk conversations and said we're going to start a podcast. I mean, we got to do the work, and that's what we've been doing. And I think it's just like a good reminder.
Yeah,
to really anybody that just start and do the work and keep chipping away, and before you know it, you'll have some tangible progress to go from.
For sure. Chipping away at it, just like making it just the consistency of showing up and starting. And I think as time goes on, like we will absolutely, there will come a time where we'll have to, like it'll be seasons. Like there'll be phases of what we do. There will be like maybe a couple weeks where you and I are really zoning in on kind of the marketing of it. Like that might be some of the earlier stuff when we're getting off the ground. Right. But then once we feel like our marketing's on lock, or at least good enough for now, we can that can take a backseat, and then like we'll dive into like format and like how we'll do, what formats and all that. And then there will be the work of like the bigger picture stuff, like the big thinking of like what's actually going to set us apart. You know what I mean? That's the less kind of technical, stuff. And that's the more like big stuff. That's the hard stuff for real.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that's why that's not where you should start, because you should just start. We're going to get rolling. We're going to get some momentum. And yeah, even if our first few episodes, to listeners aren't earth shattering, or I guess it's whatever a listener comes in with the expectation for, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so some people will be maybe underserved by our episodes, but then some people will be pleasantly surprised and impressed. And that's what's cool, is the same episode will hit different for everybody. And then I think that as time goes on, we'll, like, just by doing what we do, out of that will come these little like gold nuggets of ideas for the creative stuff that can like set us apart. Like, it's not like we need to like sit down and be like, all right, Sean, what's going to set us apart? Like, sure, like we can do that, and I'm sure we would come up with good stuff if we were in a focused brainstorm session. But like a lot of times, I feel like the stuff's just going to like pop up.
Yeah.
Like, these like light bulb moments just while we're just doing what we do.
Exactly. I think we don't want to crush that spontaneous creativity that comes along, and that's definitely going to probably be a majority of where our content comes from, because that's just how we've always been. And then there will probably be times where we're like, all right, we've been doing this format for a while, kind of like you said, we're looking for something new. We might have to do a little pencil and paper planning, high level, what exactly are we going to hit on tonight, and this and that. So it's a balance, and I think, we're not going to find our bread and butter immediately. It takes time.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of episodes for us to become expert podcasters, but it took a lot of time to become an expert nationwide customer service representative. And you're a beast at it now. I'm sure you're one of the top ones. And with engineering, when I first started, I was just a freaking green newbie. I didn't know shit. And then over time, I mean, there's some saying that it takes like X many hours, like 7,000 hours.
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, I think
an expert in your craft.
Yeah.
I mean,
mastery.
And that's pretty spot on. I mean, I don't know how many years that would equate to if you were doing like 9 to 5, but it's got to be like 5 to 10 years.
Joe Rogan on the computer over here doing our background research.
Right.
So we do 8.
Amanda, where are you at?
We do 8 times 365, and that tells us how many per year. So 2009, 20.
Okay.
So that's crazy to think that you'd have to put in your 8 hours at your craft every day for a full year, every day, and weekends, and you'd still only be at 2009, 20. So that really, that 10,000 is no shallow.
We're saying 5 years, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
About like actually like 3, a little over
3, but we're not working
high 3, closer to 4.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think that makes sense though, right? Like, say you just graduated from college, you're 22 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to be an expert at 25. I think this is kind of relevant for a lot of people these days, chasing job titles.
Yeah.
Chasing these titles of manager or senior this and that. And it's like, you know what, if you're, no discredit to some people out there at 25 who are absolutely killing it and truly are some of the best in their industry, but that's definitely abnormal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it definitely would take 5 years plus to get to that level where you're considered an expert. You know what I mean? So I think I see that a lot in my industry, where people will get called like a project manager, as opposed to just an engineer, or like a senior project engineer when they're relatively young. And it's like, no discredit to you and your skills, but companies can do that sometimes just to like keep you interested. Yeah, kind of inflate you. Oh, you got this title. I mean, it's just a title, but
yeah, very interesting
expert talk here. So
yeah. No, I mean, I think, dude, careers have never been so confusing. like, I mean, and that just continues. That continues to. That's a continuous trend. I think. Like they've never been more confusing than right now. You know what I mean? And that's just the way that it's gone. Careers were so simple. I'm living what's current with the way careers can be. Careers can be things that they never could be before. You know what I mean? And careers can change so much more frequently than they did before. Careers can have all these different like possibilities, which is like it's like I think that's awesome. Like it's a balance of kind of like you got to play to your strengths a little bit. There's no doubt about that. Like you have to play to your strengths and what you're naturally good at and what hopefully can like set you apart a little bit. But at the same time, you have to also figure out, you have to balance that with like how to actually serve and provide for like a company or you have to kind of like, it's almost like you just have to like create your own unique presence in society that you'll get compensated like accordingly for. I don't know. It's hard to voice what I'm trying to say.
I know what you mean. I think what I'm taking from it and something that I've heard, it's been advice from me from other people was create value. So that matters. I mean, going into work and people know who you are, and if there's a problem, they're coming to you.
Yeah,
you're known as, this is your area of expertise. This is the value you bring. That's worth more than money sometimes, and I think a lot of people forget about that. Unless we're talking, the money's gonna get you in the next tax bracket.
Yeah,
there's other things to consider,
right?
Than just money and a job title. I mean, there's relationships. There's your role in the company. There's the value that you bring. That you go to another company, there might be someone that already kind of does your role, and they're not really wanting to let you. They feel intimidated by you. I don't know. These are just thoughts that I have. Like,
yeah, dude, they're good thoughts.
Like as opportunities come along, especially in the day and age that we live in LinkedIn, where there's recruiters, at least all the time in my industry, that are trying to poach people from one engineering company into the other, and it's like, you gotta assess those things. You can't just get me with money.
There's more to salary offer than choosing your next job. It's going to be more. There's going to be more things to consider than just the salary, because some of the other things that come with your current job or a potential job, those carry value the same way. I feel like that's a difficult thing. Is like kind of equating the value of non-currency, like aspects of a job or a role, and somehow factoring that into the equation. Because like, say, I don't know, there's a job that's $15,000 to $20,000 a year more at one place than another. That's a significant salary difference, I'd say. And at the same time, though, there's things that maybe that lower job that are really worth like $25,000 as far as if you assess value.
Yes.
But if it has value,
hey, shout out Corey G. Business and Biceps.
Shout out Business and Biceps. We're gonna miss you. This is
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rest in paradise. I don't know. Well, I was trying to think of a word that said like, it's not goodbye and see you later, because we know they'll be back around.
Yeah, we'll be collabing.
Yeah, but we Sean, I think even more so than that, we definitely got some value out of you guys. We're talking as if they're listening right now, but they got their own.
Yeah. No, I think that's a pretty cool topic there. I think.
Yeah.
Just the value.
Yeah.
Just providing value. That's been something that's helped me a lot, and that can be tough to start. Someone says, you just started at a company or just started something new, and they're like, and you're wondering how to get to the next level or how to be successful, and someone says provide value. I mean, you're not going to wake up the next day and just provide value like out of your out of your butt. It doesn't work that way. But that's part of like the patience of working at a company. Or I know we keep talking about companies. I know some people don't work at companies, but it's part of the patience of the grind, and that being around the industry that you're trying to excel at and around the organization, you'll notice what is lacking, what your role is. Like that stuff will happen over time.
Yeah.
It takes 10,000 hours to be an expert. So
yeah. That's, and you're right about like the fit thing too. Like I think maybe some of those whatever mid-20s quote unquote hot shots that will just progress to the high role after just a few years, that's not a direct correlation to their skill set in comparison to others. It's not linear like that. There's multiple levels to it, where one of those levels is fit. They found a good fit. They found a good environment for themselves to propel to that. It wasn't just like a you versus me type of thing. Oh, you got this title before me. You get paid more than me. You're better. I got here first. I'm better. It's not that. It's your unique skill set and how it aligns with whatever, wherever you're at, and if it's a good fit. You're right. I think like fit is so important. #FitFam. I don't know why I did that, but a fitting place to drop off on that episode for now. Sean and I expand on a few of those topics, which we may work back into a future episode. But as always, hope you guys got some value out of our discussions on this week's episode. What's Current Wednesday, episode 3. This is a bit of a freestyle outro here, 8:52 p.m. on Tuesday night, in true last-minute Lunds form. Procrastination could be a whole nother topic, though I will say I did finish my taxes in April this year, unlike half of you guys who just did them last night before the cutoff date. So I will take that W. But nonetheless, I think a lot more that Sean and I are going to be able to bring to the table and start diversifying some of the things that we talk about. And, as always, we're also open to hearing, anything you guys may want us to speak about. I know there's not usually a, convenient, direct way to contact us straight through whatever podcast platform you're listening on right now. But again, for now, you can reach out to us on Instagram. Our handles are in the show notes there. I'm Music by Lunds currently, and Sean is at Sean Oatman. And whatscurrentpodcast at gmail.com is also a place you can send inquiries. Oh yeah, side note, I sold my car today. Lonzo 3 Hundo is no mo. Mixed emotions, as you may imagine. I'll just leave that as a cliffhanger here for now. Perhaps more on that next time. But yeah, happy mid-July. Crazy we are already second half 2020. Stay safe out there and keep making the most of the summertime. We'll be back with the goods soon enough. Peace.